And talking about this special guest, right? This
This
one.
special
Hey.
guest, this is the man.
There he is.
Hey, Nick,
Hello,
you all right?
everyone. Can you hear me
How you
okay?
doing?
Yes,
Yep,
yes.
yeah, perfect.
Right, I'm just going to put the volume up a bit.
We're
Vision
just
is
talking
good.
about Stephen Arneil, Hanshi's
All
son.
right. Yeah.
Because I'm guessing he was kind of around when you lot were around.
Yeah.
And I think he stopped not long after he came back after Japan, was it?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't long after. I think he was probably. I think there was the impression I got is he was under a lot of pressure, being Henshi's son. I think.
Yeah, that's
And
what Jeff said.
coming back as well, and then Henshi would like get him to teach and what he'd been doing in Japan, and I think, I think that it didn't. He wasn't comfortable. He wasn't comfortable. He wasn't. He's quite a shy person. So
Yeah, that's what I've heard about him. Was he like an Ushideshi in Japan then?
not to my knowledge. I think he was. I think he went over there and stayed with family, but I don't think he was an Uchideshi as such. I might be wrong, but I don't think so.
The way Hanshi told it to me is that it was a condition of his marriage. Like his firstborn son had to go over and train with Sosai for a year, I think it was. I'm not sure if it was as an Uchideshi, like you say, but
I have heard that. I have heard Henshi say that. So,
and then at the point of after the year, it was Stephen's choice whether he stays in Japan with Sosai or came back, and he chose no. I want to go back with my dad.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's how you doing?
To see you. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah.
You're out in your garden. Is that your garden?
Yeah. So I'm gonna train on the patio. It's a bit rough. I might need to put trainers on.
All right, guys, we will start in about 2 minutes, okay?
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
I see a lot of KRT shirts today, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
Roman is wearing it, Gabor is wearing it, John is wearing it. Awesome. Obviously, she and Jeff is wearing it. Who am I missing?
Me, I've got one.
Oh, yeah, you, me, and Tia. I know, where's yours then? Oh, wait. Yeah.
Make me feel bad because I forgot to give it to him. Yeah. Cheers.
Oh, dat zijn de boodschappen, denk ik. Zet maar in de gang. All right then, guys. So let me start off with the opening words. Hi there, guys. Welcome to a Super Saturday. It's that time again. I'm just so excited. I had to go for a walk and a run this morning because I was really psyched to do this again today. It's going to be an amazing day because there's none other than the Terminator, the original Iron Man, as we said. She had Nick Da Costa. Give him a warm welcome.
Us.
Okay.
Nice to meet you all.
Being here.
Thanks very much for the invite. Yeah. So this is it's nice to actually meet up, and this is my first online Zoom training session of any sort, so it should be interesting.
I think we'll be all right.
Looking forward to it with a bit of trepidation.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I don't think he needs any other introduction. But Darren, do you have some words?
I mean, enjoy. This is a man with a fantastic capabilities and history behind him, so we can only learn from probably one of the best, if not the best, British fighter that's come out of forever, really. Not much he hasn't done, so we're very, very pleased to have you on board and share the time with us. And I don't think anything else is needed. Enjoy, have fun, and let's get started.
Good. So as always, I will start off with the warm-up. After 10 minutes, 15 minutes of that, we will go over to Nick for the first combination. Darren and myself will just wander off those combinations. Very important. If you've got a question, use the chat, and there is it is possible to ask some questions at the end of the session. So if you've got some burning questions for Shia and Nick, this is the time to make it happen. So have fun today. Awesome. Right
Awesome.
Then. Good. So we will just start off using the legs. We will warm up a little bit with some leg exercises and also some balance exercises to really try and work the core a bit. We're just gonna make a squat, do a little jump forward, make a squat again, jump back. Also, we will do 20 of these just to warm up a little bit. Don't jump up too high because we need to really warm up the ankles as well. So there we go. And itch, knee, sun, shi, go, rook, ish, ash, ku. 10 more. Yep. Itch, knee, sun, shi, go, rook, ish, ash, ku, shira. All right, shake loose again. Gonna do the same. I'm gonna do them sideways. Us, really just try to move around a little bit and try to warm up the legs. Us, start off going to the left. Itch, knee, sun, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, ku. 10 more. Itch, knee, sun, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, ku, hisha. All right. Okay, on the count, bring your knee up. Left, right, left, right. First 10, straight. Second 10, go 45 degrees outside. The last 10, outside. Us. Right, for my. Yeah. There we go. Itch, knee, sun, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, ku, shira. Knee, sun, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, ku, shira. Knee, sun, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, ku, shira. Okay. We now forward, sideways, backwards, sideways. That's one. Us. We will do 5 of these. Us. There we go. Itch. Knee. Sun. Knee. Go. And shake loose. Good. Inside out. Bring them inside out. First 10, inside out. Second 10, outside in. Third 10, really try to bring them forward, backwards. Us, forward, backwards. Us. 30 times. Us. There we go. Itch, knee, sun, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, ku, shira. Itch, knee, sun, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, ku, shira. Ish, knee, sun, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, ku, shira. We just did forward, left, back, right. We will now go forward, right, back, left. 4 jump. Front, right, back, left. 5 times. Us. Itch. Ni. San. Shi. Go. And good. All right. Just now I'm gonna rotate the hips a little bit more. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring up the knee and bring them down. Other leg, bring up the knee and bring it down. Us. We'll do 20. Us. And it's now, well, the first step on what you will do using Brazilian Mawashi. Us. Okay, there we go. Come on, take. And knee. San. Shi. Go. Rock. Ish. Ash. Go. Shia.
Yeah.
Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rock. Ish. Ash. Go. Aisha.
Yeah.
Put your hands on your hips and turn around. Ich, ni, shi, go hantai. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. All right, shake loose a little bit. So we kind of warm up the legs. We're now going for a little bit of upper body workout. Us. So we're standing, left leg in front. Bring your left arm out. What we're going to do is we're going to pull, and straight away punch out the right. Us. It is a very long pull, punch it out, pull, punch it out, pull, punch it out. 10 on the right, 10 on the left, and I really want you to use the upper body. Us. Don't be like this. Us. Full range of motion. Us. There we go. 10 times. Come on, take. Left hand up. And itch. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Stick. Ash. Cruise. Here. Right hand out. And itch. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Stick. Ash. Cool. Heisha. And left leg forward. Us. Last punching exercise to warm up the upper body. One more push-up exercise. Quick little drink and over to Shi and Nick for the first combination. Us. What we're gonna do, we're gonna punch underneath, punch again. Us. I want you to really use the full range and go there. Us. When you're over there, we pull, punch, use the upper body to warm up and punch again. Us. Warm up. 10 times. There we go. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Stick. Ash. Cool. Aisha. Good. Right hand is now a little bit looser. Us. Right, left, under, left. When you do full punch, long punch from out of the shoulder. Us. There we go. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Two. Aisha. All right. Take it loose. Both arms inside. Us. There we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Shish, ash, go. Aya. Hantai. Ich, ni, san, shi. Rook. Ish, ash. Aisha. All right. Shake forward. San, shi. Go. Backwards. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. think about when you go backwards, think about the session with Masaki. Us, try to use the collarbone. When we go forward, don't think just to the side and forward. When we go backward, just to the side. Really try to rotate in a long position with your arm. To use the collarbone. Us, one more time. 5 forward, 5 backwards. Push-ups. Echa. Go, hanta. All right, good. Okay. Left hand, chest height. Right hand, Staski. Us, in a push-up, you will do a push-up, jump over, and try to be on the other side. So it will look like this. I hope everybody can see me doing this. It's gonna be 1, 2. Us, jump up when we do this. We will do only 10. Us, left, right, left, right, left, right. Us, there we go. Rigger, go. Come my tape. Us. And ish, ni, san, she, go, look, ish, ash, go, isha. Alrighty then. Get yourself a quick little drink, and then it's the Terminator time. Us. Thanks. Up.
Just move up. I've got the. Working out. Okay. So you ready? Can everyone see me okay?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, good. All right, so the combination we're going to do is you're drifting into the first punch. So it's the gaku ski. So you're drifting in this way there, gaku. So just worry. So what you're doing, you're going in with a straight punch through the middle. There. You're going to step past as you deliver tata ski. Okay. It's 1, 2, 3. You shorten your stance, and then you throw the knee up through the middle of the goal. So you've got both of you. All right, so again, you're going in 1, stepping past 2, shorten the stance, drift that leg behind slightly, up through, hopefully, the middle of the guard there. If Chris was there, and what he's looking at is trying to get quick izagiri just underneath the jawline. Okay, so you ready? Let's go. Go. I'll do it in stages. Gaku, step with the right leg, short, tate. So you stepped and you've done the punch. Pivot on the right leg, hook, shorten the stance slightly, and then the knee goes up through the middle, and then double step back. Okay. You ready? 10, let's go. Itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Huge. Hatch. Q. Jew. That's it. All right, so right leg forward. Do 1 slow. Gaku first. There. Tate. Hook. Kaki. Slightly shorter stance. Hisagiri. Up through the guard. Step back out. Right leg in front. All right, let's go. Ready? Itch. 1, 2, back out. Knee. Sun. She. Shish. Hatch. Q. Last one. Shear.
Yeah.
Shear. And Nora, come back. Relax. Right, so I might have to lower this down a bit.
Nice.
Right, so we're going to work on the floor in a full squat position. We're going to work for 1 minute.
Nice.
Right, so full squat in this position there. Hands down. You can let the heels go up in the air like so. So what we're going to do is we're going to thrust out. I'm going to do a 5-second descent. Push up, squat thrust, 5-second descent for 1 minute. Senpai Crystal, give us an update on the time. Now, remember, there's all your fitness, everyone's fitness is going to be different.
Nice.
Don't push it hard, okay? The important thing is just try and slow that descent down.
Nice.
Right, ready?
Nice.
Right, 1 minute, hands on the floor. All right, let's go. Thrust out, dropping down. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Push up, squat thrust. Let's go again. Ni, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push up. Again, san. Up. Shi. Up. Go.
20 seconds left.
Up, halfway. Rook. Up. Shish. Up. Hatch. Up. Q. Up. Cheer. Up.
Down.
Okay, that's good. 10.
Nice.
Those.
Normal.
Those.
Thank you. Over to Super Springer.
You can have a little drink if you want. Of course. You don't have to. Okay, so based on Nick's combination, we've got Gyaku, Tate, around, and the Hiza. So I'm going to adapt that slightly. We're going to keep exactly the same fundamentals. So we're sliding in Gyaku, short Tata ski. As we do the hook, I want us to hit the back of that leg almost like a motion. Okay, so we're going to be there 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring the knee up as she and Nick did before. Because we're hitting the back of the leg, we're going to potentially get this motion, so we have to slightly change the delivery of Nick's knee coming straight up to coming around a little bit, okay? And obviously we can turn this into a more shi if you're flexible enough and you've got the space, but let's keep it to the knee at the moment, okay? So same thing in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slight curl. If you can't reach Jordan, hopefully we've done this and we can cut to the chew down and take advantage of the stretched stomach muscles anyway. Okay? Everyone understand? You're not doing in Dutch today, right?
If they don't ask for it, we're just going to do it.
Okay, excellent. Okay, 10 on the right, 10 on the left, exercises, and then over to Wes. Okay, ready? H! Knee! Sun! She! Go! Up! Ash! Ash! Help! Last one on this side. Here! Here! And the the same thing in the other leg. Don't forget. Drifting a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Don't forget this. 1, 2. Try and roll them on a little bit. Yeah. Take advantage at the end. Okay? Next 10. Let's go. Out! Last one. Here. Cool. And we are on our backs.
Us.
Done these before. On your back. Legs open. Like so. We're looking to come through here. Through the middle. Minimal movement on the legs. I get maximum work on the stomach.
Us.
Just 10. 10.
Us.
Okay, and then we'll go to good old Wesley in Holland. Okay, position. H. Sun. She. Do. Rug. Shish. H. K. Shia. Remember, no hands. When we get up, please. None of us are quite at the age yet. We hope. Get yourself a drink and over to Wes.
Us. All right then, guys. So if you got yourself a quick little drink, we're going to go over to my set of this combination. We're going to stick to the same set of punches. So it's going to be Gyaku, step in with a short tate, go out with a hook. After Nick went in with a straight knee. After Darren went in with a low kick and a knee in a round version. Also, what I'm going to do, so we're going to be at the side of our opponent right now. We're going to drive in a Stasky to, first hook is to the ribs, Stasky just to the obliques. Also, it's going to be 1, 2, makes the opponent crunch a little bit. From out of here, we're going to use the front leg with a Mawashigiri to the blind side of the opponent. Also, I'm going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, this is what we're going to do. Any questions? Let me do this in Dutch, please, because I got the question. We doen Gyaku, stap naar buiten, opstoot, stap naar buiten, lange hoek, opstoot, voorste been gebruiken, Yoda Mawashigiri, Os. And it's really important to use the hips to roll it, to really roll it in. Os, there we go. I take Os, the left and on the right, exercise over to Ironman. Os,
Os.
There we go. Come on, take.
Here.
Knee. Stand. Key. Go. Rub. Yes. Go. Aisha. Other leg. Right leg is. Let's do this one more time slowly. Gyaku, tate, shita, tate, and over with your Jodan Mawashigiri to the blind side of the opponent. Us. It's going to be left, short, longer, short, over. Us. There we go. Come on, take. Come on, take.
Yeah.
Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Rook. Shish. Ash. Cool. Last one, people. Shia. Aisha. Good. All right then. What we're gonna do is we're gonna be standing on one leg. On one leg. We'll do 5 of these on the left leg. 5 of these on the right leg. Also, so we'll start off like this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna squat, touch the floor. My Giri Jordan, bring it back. Us, I really want you to find the balance, make a proper My Giri, stand there again. Go over there, be there. Us, 5 times, people, on this leg, 5 times on the other. Us, that's it. There we go. Ish. Knee. Sun. Stand there. She. Go. Aisha. H. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Aisha. All right. Drink. Over to the main man of the day. Us.
Okay. Right. So what we're going to do this time is it's a simple combination. It's an oiski and a shirin geri.
Us.
Two different ways you can do it. Main ways you can do it. One of them is to actually hit with the oiski so that you're creating the distance you want. So when you go in, as you go in, you turn sideways this way, just like as if doing pin hands on the knee into the junski there. And you're halfway turned, and then you spin for the head. The other one is that the person's already out of distance, okay, and you just feint. So you just lead in with the arm, and then you use it to spin in. Okay, so 2 different options on how you apply it. Okay, so a slight drift on the front leg, and then a shirin geri. So left leg forward.
Do you say what to do? Or you can either choose anyway.
If you haven't got the space to do the full kick, just do a pirouette again. I was going to try it, but never did. Yeah. So just put you into the exercise. Okay. So you ready? All right. So start from the left leg forward. All right. Let's go straight in. Itch. Knee. Have a slightly slower count, otherwise you'll be falling out a window somewhere. Sun. Q. Go. Look. Sheesh. H. Q. Yeah. Untie, other side. Right, let's go straight into it. Itch. Knee. Sun. Go. Rook. Sheesh. shoot. Up one.
Oh,
Shoot.
shit!
Right, so exercise on the floor. Just get, if you got a mat, just make sure you got it. Gonna work for 1 minute again. So, if you lose sight of me, I might have to adjust. Okay, so what we're going to do is right, left, double, touch the floor above your head. Right. Again, depending on your fitness, depending how fast you go. Right, 1 minute. We'll give you an update on the time. That's your minute. Halfway. Time. Okay.
Someone mentioned they might have seen that combination that you did before, Nick. Someone.
All right. Okay, right. So quickly grab yourself a drink, and then yeah, I think is it Darren you're taking over?
Yeah, come on.
Willen jullie het hekje dicht doen, kids?
Huh?
No, it's to Skylar.
Ah, okay.
They're playing outside and she left the gate the gate door open, so that means Rhaegar will run towards the kids. There will be a lot of screaming then.
Okay, so we're going to still use the same movement, but what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that we didn't maybe hit them with the first time that we tried this. Obviously, it worked very well for Nick because he didn't need a second one, but for the mortals amongst us, we might have missed. Okay, so what we're going to do is, as Nick's lunging in here and coming around for the Ishra Mawashi, we're going to go there, we're going to feint this, and then we're going to come through with an axe kick. Now, we need to make sure that we chase a little bit, because if you're missing, it's because the person's moved out the way. It's very unlikely that he's gone like this at the speed that Nick does it, okay? You'd have to have incredible timing. So chances are, as soon as he gets hit or he sees Nick coming forward, he's going to do this. He doesn't want to cop it in the face. So what we're going to do is we have to chase that forward. As Nick's coming here, normally you come around this way, we come in here, we're still opening, we see how the person reacts, chase, and drive through with the Soto axe kick. Okay? All good on that, fairly simple. Don't think we need to do that in Dutch, Wes?
Okay, let me do this. Oké, dus het volgende wat we gaan doen, is we gaan doen alsof we de Ushiro Mawashi maken die we net met Shia en Nick gedaan hebben. In plaats van dat we die doen, doe je hem faken richting en rechts, jezelfde been gebruik je voor een Soto Kiyage. Os, duidelijk, let's go.
Good, turn on the right, turn on the left, exercise, and over to one of the Wes. Let's go, ready, H! Really hide that. Make sure we look like the Ishra Mawashi. E! She! Go! Right! Yeah. Okay. Exactly the same thing the other side. One, let's open this, make it look like we're coming this way, and bring really long Soto, get up nice and high, so it comes down the front. Jeff mentioned about this, Wesley mentioned about this, Andy hug, etc. So we're just using Nick's initial move to adapt. Okay, let's go. Ready, H! E! 10! G! Go! Up! H! H! Last one. Shit! Excellent. Right. Let's go down, do some push-ups. So we did a slight variation of this on Thursday. This time we're going to start off with the hand out and we're down in position. And then we're going to try and push up with that single arm and explode. That's the plan anyway. Let's see if we can do it. And we're going to be here and we're going to have to really push off your right leg and your left arm. Obviously, if you get to a point where you're struggling, bring the hand in to do the push, but hopefully we can get a couple of them where we're really close to driving that out. If we're going to sell this Oitski, like Nick wants you to, it has to be a good quality one that maybe you've done before. Bang! So that's what we're going to work on. Here, the arm out, we take no weight at the start on this arm. Really push and try and drive up in that position. Right leg, left arm will take most of the weight on the first 5 push-ups, then right arm and left leg on the second 5. Okay, really try and stabilize your balance a little bit. Hopefully I can actually do a couple myself. Okay, ready? Let's go. H. E. G. Oh. And the other side. Right arm doing the push. Left arm is just out there looking pretty. Ready? H. E. Sun. G. Oh. And I can get Cliff 25 of these next time you're doing them, bad boys. Okay? Over to Wes.
Cliff, do this as a finisher. So your last day, Cliff, needs to be these.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, and don't you dare try to tag me or Darren.
Yeah.
We're already training 5 to 6 days a week, so it's good. All right then. So we're gonna add something flamboyant. As if the Umawashi wasn't flamboyant enough. I always try to be a little bit extra. Ask Darren. So what we're going to do is we're going to, again, use the first combination. So on 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, we will use the combination she and Nick gave us. So 1, Shiro Mawashi. What we're going to do on 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 is you're going to fake the Ushiro Mawashi. So you're going to be in, fake Ushiro Mawashi, Jordan Mawashi, over the top. You can do this as a tornado kick, but you can also do 1, 2, 3. This is something you can choose for yourself, because to be fair, when I was a young boy, novice fighter, I was kicking. The older I got, there was a little bit less kicks, but the kicks we used were quite effective. So try to be smart. You can do Noshiro Mawashi once. If you didn't connect or you missed, you gotta pull a different trick to surprise your opponent. So it's very important to keep pulling tricks to eventually knock out the opponent. Us. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Oshiro Mawashi. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oshiro fake Mawashi. Us.
Us.
My take.
Shia.
Ish. Ni. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Fish. Ash. Cool. Shia. Haisha.
Yeah.
Come on, take.
Hopefully we're not all dizzy.
A little bit. It's a lot of twisting and turning. Come on, take.
Shia.
There we go. Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Shish. Cool. All right then. What we're going to do right now is we're going to combine a burpee with the twisting. Us. So we'll go down, do a full push-up. When we go up, bring the legs back. When you jump, you twist and come 360 degrees. Us. First, you do a right twist, then you will do a left twist, right twist, left twist. Us. We will do 2. Us. Okay, come on, take. Ush. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Look. Sish. Ash. Go. Share.
Yeah.
All right. Quick little drink. Over to the big man. Us.
Us.
Okay, right. So this time, what we're going to do is we're going to do a setup combination. I'm going to borrow Christopher. I'm going to do it so that he's got his back to you, so that you can see what's happening. So first one is you do a Gedan Soto category. Yeah. If you can't see that, let me know. So going in, Gedan Soto there. Second, you're going up to the side of the head, still looking down. Because what you're doing is you're doing that on the first one, and hopefully they think you're going to do that in the second one. But what you do is you commit to a Soto Kyogi. Okay, so what you have is 1, looking down, 2, and this when if it didn't get blocked, say for instance, if I can move this slide. If it didn't get blocked, they're coming in 1, and then you came through 2. That's great. Okay, maybe you hit them, maybe you swung through the head and you've damaged them, hurt them. But let's assume that the person's blocked. So what you're doing is you're going in 1, 2, and then the same leg you bring to the opposite side of the head, and you're going to do a Jodan Uchi high socket gear. So I'll do it fully. So again in 1, 2, then back out. So obviously you haven't got a partner. So let's just go through it. So you get in, and then you're going to use your arm in front. They're like Pinan Sonago. And you're going to go 2, as if it's been stopped. So you got 1, 2, the other hand up, and then try and smack the other hand. Okay? So ready? So let's go. Itch. So 1, 2, 3, and then back again. Knee. 1, 2, 3, and back. Sun. 1, looking down. 2, 3, and back. She. 1, hand out. 2, 3, and back. Go. Rook. Sheesh. Touch. Q. Last one. Sure. 1. Sure. And change. Right, so go straight into it. Let's go. So there, hand out. 2, 3. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Sheesh. Hatch. Q. Last one. Sure. Sure. And all right. Right. So you got a hard floor, just get them out again. Put it down. Right, because I think time's flying, so we're going to do half rather than a full minute. We'll swap over halfway through. So what we're going to do, just on your elbow, legs out straight. Yeah, we're going to do side plank, arm up 30 seconds. And then we'll roll over straight on 30 seconds onto the other side. Right, should be easy. Easy, okay? Ready? Arm up. Right, let's go. Up. On 20. Very stretchy, keep going. Take the leg out. And roll. Straight onto the side. Very stretchy. Take the leg out. And time. Okay. Right, us.
Got some water. Sun's coming out a bit here now. Oh, nice.
It's bacon.
Yeah. Pretty warm. It's warm. Once I get going in this wooden shack, it's pretty hot. Cools down pretty quickly as well, though.
Good session so far, guys. Everybody working very hard.
Everyone okay so far, I hope? Wesley's jumping, spinning, bird kick didn't put anyone's back out, apart from mine. I'm just kidding. Okay, so obviously we've been doing the kake, 1 and 2, with the uchi hosoku at the end. We're going to stick with the kake, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a moshigeri with the other leg. Yep, so we're going to go here, 1, make it, bring here, 1, and then bring the Mawashigeri up. That's on 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. On 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, the same start, 1, and then we're going to come up this way and then come with the kake. So we're going to look at switching it last minute. Now this normally won't knock someone down because it's not got enough power, especially for little lightweights. Maybe if you got a big leg like Felix, it would be different. But so what we're looking to do is we hit here, 1, this one, we can get reasonable power. And maybe it makes his head go this way. On the next one, what we're banking on is that he's already moving his head away from the direction that the kick comes. So we're coming here, bending him this way potentially already. We're coming up here, we're going to take his head away, and then we're going to just change the direction last minute this way. And this is all we're looking for. And hopefully this movement towards...
Got it. I got it.
Okay, cool. Creates the problem for him. Obviously, we can follow up afterwards should anything not work. But if we keep catching the person in the head anyway, even if we don't knock him down, in the judge's mind, they're thinking it's pretty successful. He's trying to knock him out. He's looking pretty good. He's in control of the fight, etc., etc. Okay. So there, 1, 2, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Washi, odds, kakes, evens. All good with this? 60 buttons and stuff. Oh, another person.
Got it. Got it.
Oh, it's got
Again.
really bad connections today. Okay, let's go. Ready? H. Kake. Ni. San. She. Go. Run. Ash. Ash. Juice. Shia. And the other leg, same thing. Probably people's better leg now, right leg. Should be able to make the kick work, maybe a little bit better. Kake to the leg. Monshi Jodan. Kake. Feint. Bring back to the kake. Okay, let's go. Ready? H. Knee. Tan. She. Go. Run. Last one. Huge. Yeah. Good, good, good. So, we've got, oops, that's where I am now. Oh my God. So, what we're doing is we're going a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to take a squat, out, in, back down, squat. Okay? So nice deep squat to start with. As we come in there, 1, don't put it on the ground. 2, Uchi Soto, back down into the squat. 5 of them on the right, 5 of them on the left. Quick drink, over to Wesley. Okay? Let's go. Ready? H. Roll that leg. B. Use your stomach muscles. Sun. To control, control. She. Control, control. Go.
Yeah.
Good. Other leg. Ready? H. Control, control. E. Control, control. Sun. She. Go.
Aisha.
Here. Ush. Misha. Over to Wesley.
Os.
Come drink. If you want, of course.
Right then, guys, get yourself a quick little drink, as Darren said. Over to the next combination. Us. We're still going to use the Valerie kick, as a lot of people would like to call it. It's not that he invented it, but he was just very good at it. Very, very efficient. Us. Good. Right then. So, going to be standing over there, left leg in front. Us. We're going to drive it in with the heel to the leg, and when we do, we drive in an oiski to the stomach. It's going to be 1, 2. Us. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 is going to be 1, 2 inside low kick. So it's going to be over here. I'm going to be 1, 2 inside low kick. Us. Or if you like to an opponent who will be like Darren, right leg in front, I can still do the same. I'm going to be in 1, 2. It's just
smart Daphne.
It's theater. It's theater. Nothing happened.
Wes, take the point.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Us. But we can still use it. 1, 2, 3. Us.
It's effective.
Apparently it's effective. On 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, it's gonna be 1. Put it back. Uchi Mawashigiri. Same leg. Us. Gonna be 1. Uchi Mawashigiri. Us. But first bring it back, because you want to be 1 in Uchimawashi. Us. This is a fast movement. 1, 2. Us. And for myself, when I do Uchimawashi Giri, I try to keep my knee as close to my body when I do it, and then extend. Us. So it's going to be 1, 2. Us. So we can do this from fairly close distance. Everybody clear on this? Good. No. She's not very much. There we go. Come on, take.
Us.
Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Sish. Ash. Cool. Aisha. Okay, us. There we go. Aisha. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Sish. Ash. Cool. Shit. Yeah. And now ready. We will do a stomach exercise. Go down to the floor. We'll bring the feet together and put them on the floor. Full motion. Arms are stretched over and back. From there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back. Us. So it's a combination. Upper, lower abdomens. Us. Okay, so we will do 5 of these. Us. Just 5. Time-wise, it's more interesting to look at Shia and Nick instead of me. Us. There we go. Come on, take. And ouch. Knee. Sun. She. Last one. Go. Aisha. Stand up without using the hands. Get yourself a quick little drink, and we'll be over to Shia and Nick.
Okay, catch you later, Danny. Thanks
Bye,
for coming.
Danny. I think we will be on the last combination from Saint Nick. Then one more by Darren, one more by me, and probably some stretching by Darren. Right?
Okay, right. So what we're going to do this one is everyone knows the Superman punch where you're coming in and it's running this way there. Okay,
Awesome.
but what you can do is you can adapt it to knockdown as well. So if I borrow Christopher again, so from behind, if you just put up that pad, we'll do it at a slight angle. So what he's going to do is, for the moment, he's got one pad up, Jodan, one get in. So what you can do is you can use distance as well. So you can gain distance. So you're showing this leg that you might have thrown in the Maigari previously. So you're showing that leg, and then what you're doing is you're punching, but what you would be for knockdown is punching down. But the thing is that you're landing on one leg, so you've got your balance. Okay, so then that gives you options. So we're going to choose the simplest option, which is going in, 1, 2, and then dropping into the fly kick. So that's the easiest option. Okay, so going in, 1, 2, there. But equally, you can, while you've got one leg, there's other options on the kick as well. So you can equally go Jodan as well. So you're going to step back to so you're going in, 1, and then playing the Jodan 2 while you're on the one leg. First? Yeah? Okay, so it's up to you which one you do, whether you go, the two best options are the Jodan or the Gedan, okay, on the motion. Not the Chudan. If you're going Chudan and you try and go Chudan, it's too busy, chances are there's not going to be a gap there, okay? Activity. Right. Showing the back leg, slight hop, land on one leg as you extend the arm, then open up the kick. Right, let's go. Itch, and come back down. Remember, it's up to you what level you go to. Knee, sun, shi, go, rook, shish, hatch, Q, one more, shear, and hand tie. Right, so if you haven't done this before, just do one as a, remember, hop, punch, stay on one leg, kick. Right, going straight into it. Go, itch, knee, sun, she, go, rook, sheesh, hatch, Q, shear, and all right. Okay, right, so on to the exercises. We're going to work the thighs. We're going to do 20 little skiing squats, followed by 10 jumping squats. Doing that 5 times, straight through 5 times. So ready? All right, let's go down. Shimmy, itch, knee, san, shi, go, hatch, q, jia, itch, san, shi, go, she's hatch, q, shear, straight into it. Knee, san, shi, go, straight down. Knee, san, shi, look, she's hatch, q, jill. Knee, san, shi, look, she's hatch, q, jill. Itch, knee, san, shi, go.
2, 3, go, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, go, 6, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. 1, 2, 3, go, 6, 9, 10. 1, 4, go, 6, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, and give your legs a shake.
Nice.
Okay. All right, moving on. Get a drink.
Stuff.
So the time is going very quickly.
Always. Never enough time, right?
Yeah.
I think a squad lesson with like 3 hours or something. No. Everyone's like, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So we're going to stick to the Superman punch here. I'm not going to do the Morshigeri straight away like Nick did. What I want to do is I really want to take advantage of my weight coming forward and hit with the Stasky
Awesome.
in this position. The reason I really like weight going forward, really drive power in, probably a little man syndrome, I don't know. But so what we're doing is we're going there, 1, 2, and then we're going to do a Brazilian Mawashi, okay? Hopefully what's happened, Superman punch normally hits kind of solar plexus or high chest, probably high chest most of the time. Going to hit him there, rock him back, really hit with a nice sharp hard Stasky, bend him forward a bit, and a little bit like Wesley's combination earlier, we're looking at rolling that over after we really crunched him in this way, okay? Of course, we can come up with a straight Mawashi, but let's try and really open them hips a little bit and get the nice roll, okay? So one more time, we come in there, 1, 2, and then roll Brazilian Mawashi. All good? Wes, do you need to translate?
That's good. Let's go.
No, excellent. 10, 10. You know the drill by now, people. Let's go. Ready? H. Knee. Running out of space. Sun. She. Hell. Rap. Ash. Ash. Hell. Last one. Here. Here. And the same. The other leg. 1, 2, 3. Roll through with the Mawashi at the end. Probably people's worst leg. Concentrate on this pivot to achieve the roll through. Otherwise, it's still going to go. Okay? Let's go. Ready? H. Knee. Sun. She. Oh. Right. H. H. Two more. Hey. Last one, look him out. Yeah. Good work. Right. You're going to do some sidewalks.
Okay.
So, don't need much room. We're only going to go across like maybe 3 or 4 steps, something like that. Okay, so there. 3, 1, 2, 3. We're looking for both feet and hands to come off the mat. Okay, walk across, nice flat plank like this. Don't want to see no bums up. Janine, we're watching. Okay, nice flat on 1, 2, 3. Try not to go like this too much when you're doing the lifts here. Nice and strong in the core. Go across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, yep, 3. Across 1, 2, 3. Back 1, 2, 3. And we need to do that 3 times. Okay? So what I'll do is I'll say itch. You go across. Boom, boom, boom. Knee across. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone understand?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, great. Excellent. Let's go. Ready? Itch. Knee. And knee. Go. 2 more left. Last one. Right. Happy get. Over to one waist. Let's go. Last one. We thinks. Because we don't have no more time. So not a think, definitely.
I think it's going to be a short stretch, Darren.
Yeah.
Good. All right then. Sometimes, yeah, get yourself a quick drink. Sometimes I have to do all of my exercises with a handicap, and that's the doggy who's always in the way. For some reason, he's always in the way. I was just doing the exercise, and he was just lying there with his feet on my feet. It's just horrendous sometimes. But hey,
he's just looking for rest. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's. He knows me. He knows me very good. Good. So we're gonna use the Superman punch. We're gonna use it in a different way. So I'm gonna be standing here, left leg in front. I'm gonna be using a long left punch to the chest. Left punch to the chest. Superman to the solar plexus. Also, I'm gonna do left, left, left for 10 times, then right, right, right for 10 times. It's gonna be 1 Superman, 2 Uchikiage from the left leg. It's from the back leg, to be fair, but it starts off at the front. Also, make sure you'll be 1, 2, really over the inside, and then drop it down. Also, 1, 2. I'm already with my body twisted in. I'm just gonna bring it up over there, bring it up, and drop it down. Us, 10 on the left, right. There we go. That's it. Shit. Okay. Knee. Chest plexus. Sun. Chi. Go. Rook. Tish. Ash. Cool. Sure. Aisha. All right. Right leg. Chest. Plexus. Over the top. Us. Bam, bam. Over the top. There we go. Yeah. Ish. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Rook. Fish. Ash. Cool. Last one, people. Sure. Alrighty then. Last exercise, people. Okay. So the last exercise we do is a very controlled planking position. So I'm going to be on my arms. I'm going to use my right arm and my left leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them both up. I'm going to bring my left knee and my right arm and bring them back. But I don't want to do it fast, because then it will probably look like this. Not what we want to do. We want to have a controlled motion and try to use shisoku, the ball of your foot, on the standing foot, also on the right leg. Keep it like that. Don't go there with a flat foot, because then you're not working your core properly. All right then, good to go. We will do 3 controlled moves on the right, 3 controlled moves on the left. Obviously, time-wise, that's why we do it. Good. Okay, come on, take. Bring them up and itch. Slowly and back. On the balls of your feet. Knee. And sun. Good. All right then. Other leg. There we go. Itch. Knee. Sun. And all right then. Give yourself a quick little drink. Last 5 to probably 10 minutes of stretching. Maybe 5 minutes of stretching and some questions.
Not to me. No questions to me.
Ja, niet binnen, want we gaan zo slapen.
Okay. Let's do some stretching. Right, let's take our legs roughly around about 2 shoulder widths apart. We're going to drop the heels in, and the first one, we're just going to relax down through the center. Use the elbows to keep your knees out to avoid you doing this. Okay, down position.
And please, people, try to think of some questions if you've got them. Now's the time you can ask them to Shia and Nick.
Yep.
Normally, he's never in publicity. He's being protected by the feds, so no one can ever ask him stuff.
He says he's only got 2 to 3 hours though, so you'll have to keep him short. Right, put the left leg on the ground, right leg straight. Now stay upright at the moment, okay? And we're stretching down to the front leg. Itch. Five, itch, still staying upright. Here, now. And what I want you to do now is just to sit down onto the back leg, put your arms through the back here, and relax onto that kneeling down leg. Try and keep your toes pointing up. Tendency will be to do this when we're here. And keep the rotation on the hip. Now that we're in this kneeling position, we're going to turn and stretch down towards the right leg.
Awesome.
Try and get a bit deeper down now because we're lower down anyway. Again, toes pointing up to the ceiling still. From there, take the right arm to the other side of the thigh and lean down. Maybe feel a little pinch on the hip flexor there. From there, if you can, go to the other side, sit between. Be careful of the knees, obviously those that have bad knees. If you can, open up, obviously feel free to. Down to the front leg, itch. .45, itch. And just twist in, and if you can, lean forward a little bit, of course, do so, but this will be quite uncomfortable for a lot of people, so be careful. Okay, just lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to come back up here, and we're just going to rotate this leg just like so, just before we move on to the next side. Okay, so from toes up to yoko. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, Q, Q. Okay, bring the leg in. Don't forget, we start upright first. Leg out straight to the left. Ready? And down. Itch. .5 degrees, itch. Still keep your hip up. And going down to kneeling position on the next one. Arm through, kneel down and relax. Toes pointing up to the ceiling still. On the left leg, of course. Now we're here, down to the left leg, itch. .25, nice and deep, itch. Take the left arm over the other side, down, pitch, feel the pinch, hopefully on the hip flexor. From there, let's go down onto the other side, and if you can, open up the hips a little bit, down to the left leg, itch. .45 itch. And twist to the bent leg, and if you can, get a little bit down, itch. And come up, and we've just got the rotations, and then one more exercise left after this. Okay, itch, knee, sun, she, gu, ruk, shish, ach, q, chew. Okay, and because everybody likes these, we're going to finish with some scorpions. Okay, so we've got 5 to the right, 5 to the left, and then 10 alternate. For those that haven't been here before, let me show you. So you're going to be laying down, flat on the ground. We're looking at getting our left leg to our right hand, 5 of them, and then 5 of right leg to left hand, and then alternate. So we're looking to come over, touch, and back. If you're not flexible, I'd say look away. If you find it a little bit easy, look towards the hand that we're aiming for. Nice controlled movement, nothing fast, okay? 5 to the right hand, 5 to the left hand, and then 10 alternate. Job done, okay? Let's go. Arms out. Ready? Itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go.
Yeah.
And to the left hand. Itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go.
Yeah.
Here's the difficult one. Changing. Try not to move your body too much, apart from the legs and the spine on a straight twist. Okay, left leg to right first. Itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Look. Ish. Ish. 2 more. Okay. Chew.
Aisha.
And stretch the back out a little bit. Rotation. And we are done with another Super Saturday. First and foremost, thanks ever so much to our special guest, Darren Nick Da Costa. It's been a real pleasure having you here with us and sharing what you used to do and maybe adapted it a little bit for today as well. So it's a huge honour to have you here. Your credentials are second to none. I think we can pretty much say that you own the 80s, a bit like Chuck Norris owns the world. You know? We're now putting the 80s on Nick Da Costa. Okay, so, super stuff, excellent. Love the training. Hopefully everybody else did as well. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it. It's definitely hot and sweaty where I am. So good workout, guys. And thanks a million to everybody who supports us as well. Us.
Yeah, I'd just like to. Sorry, I'd like to thank obviously Wesley and Darren for inviting me after the guest you've had. It's a great honour to be one of the invited people to start. So thanks very much. My pleasure.
Oh, thank you, Shian. As Darren was talking about Chuck Norris, I just got a call that he's scared of Nick Da Costa. So
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a fact, right?
yeah, no. With all jokes aside, it was a very, very big honor for us from KRT to have Shian Nick on the scene. He's done a very lot, and it's been amazing. Thank you for the great session as well, Sweaty, and we've seen you do some great stuff, obviously back in the days, but now during the sessions as well. And it's not always to say that a good fighter is always a good teacher as well. But hey, we had a great role model today at our session. So thanks again, and obviously thanks to all people being here, joining in with us. We know that the world is kind of getting back to normal, sort of, but still every Saturday there's over 50 people in our class from out of all over the world. We counted the countries, and I think we were at 21 or 22 countries who joined in sessions of KRT. So it's brilliant. I will read some of the things that's been said here. Have you maybe got some words from out of yourself, Shia Nick?
Okay. Right. So you're actually gonna you're gonna tell me what the questions are, or?
Yeah. I will find the questions right now. But before we start off with the questions, have you got some words for for all the people who joined in today?
Oh no, just thanks very much for joining in. Obviously, this is something new. The pandemic has challenged people to do things that they wouldn't normally do. And out of that, one of the positives is these Zoom meetings, which have been taken on, like you said, by 20 odd people from 20 odd countries. And it's a good way of people to connect and see what other people are doing, also making, or you either meeting friends again or you're starting new friendships, which is great, which is what it's all about. It's about connections, karate, and hopefully it's lifelong friends. So
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Thank you. So the first question I found was from John Chader. Do you have any advice for karateka no longer in the full bloom of youth? And that's probably the question for quite a few of us.
What I would say is that if you've been training all your life, you know, or you should know your body. And then what you should do is you should do training, obviously, that is healthy for you, and know your limitations. Sometimes push yourself, because sometimes we get a bit lazy, we get a bit comfortable doing what we're used to. But all said and done, if you've been an accomplished karateka, you should have a good idea of where you want to develop and where you want to actually get better and what your limitations are, and make it. You're not going to be able to do what you used to do. But what you can do is you can adapt and you can make it enjoyable. And where you were fighting for tournaments or for gradings or whatever the goal was at the time, now you've got the time to actually slow down a little bit and analyse what you're actually doing, rather than just going hell for leather and punching the bag. You know, there should be a little bit more thought going into your training.
Thank you.
Very much. I think the next question there is from Janine, isn't it?
Good. Yeah. You taking that?
Yeah. Okay, no worries. From Janine, who was your toughest opponent? It's always a difficult one, this, to answer.
Well, you can always say the toughest opponent is the person you lost to. And I lost to Matsui. It was the sixth fight of the World Tournament. Yeah. So over 3 days, and it was very tough. But recently somebody posted on Facebook, and I don't normally join in, and they said, these questions about who was your toughest opponent, who was your instructor, blah, blah, blah. And there was a fighter from Sweden called Johan Ananda, and he was really tough. He was really good. He just missed out on the top places, and I think most of that was probably because unfortunately we were in the same side of the pool, and I was lucky enough to get the right decisions. But it was always a tough fight, and it was a good striker, and he had the right attitude as well. You know, win or lose, you know, some people, you know, don't take it well, and others they're more level-headed. You know, whether they win or whether they lose. And he was one of those. He was one of the Swedish elite at the time, with Hasse Lundgren and Hans BF and Mikael Soderqvist, etc. So, he was good.
Nice. Then there is a question from Chris Nicholson. Hi, Nick. You appear to start your combat career with remarkable strength from the beginning. How did you achieve that?
Oh, you mean you mean I had early success?
And you were just strong. Yeah,
I was lucky. The dojo that I belonged to was really scary because everyone would kick, you know, 10 bells of you know what out of each other, and that was, you know, we didn't hold back. You know, there was no slow light sparring. It was when we were doing knockdown, it was just full on, and quite often, you know, people were taken to the hospital, you know, and people we'd be in the pub laughing about the person that was in the hospital, you know, that sort of mentality. And even one of the instructors, Glenn the Animal Sharp, he he came to one of our world tournaments a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago or something like that. And he said that he was the instructor and he was scared to come to the dojo at times because it was like so tough there and the people were so aggressive. So yeah. So I think
it's always going to be a tough time when your instructor's called Glenn the Animal Sharp.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I think going from that, I think everyone that survived, and it was a case of survived the dojo, and that was Millwall, and then it was Bethnal Green. It wasn't a giant leap to then go and fight in the tournament because the dojo fighting was so tough.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
Question from Anil, it appears to be next. What was your most memorable highlight moment in karate, obviously?
I think probably winning the British the first time. Because it was in 1982 that I won it the first time, so I was 21. And the previous year, I was in the final for 5 years in a row. That was the first of 5. And the year before, I'd actually fought my instructor in the 3rd round. So I'd sort of dispatched the first 2 fighters. And then it was my instructor. And that was my first ever knockdown tournament, was the British Open. And then you know, there was no novices or anything like that. So it was a case of you just got chucked in and you survived or you didn't. And then what happened was that in that year, I had about 3 tournaments or 4 tournaments. There was a really lot of tournaments in that year. And the second tournament I fought in after the British was, it was a regional, but there was Wushu Kwan were taking part, which was a Kung Fu group. And I fought this fighter that was, I think his name was Neville Phillips. He was really, really strong and he was mature, and I was, I think, 81. I was 20 years old. And we were having a really tough fight, and then I got hit in the groin and I was down for about 5 minutes, but none of the officials saw me get hit in the groin. So they couldn't say he'd done that. And then I had to resume the fight, and I wasn't the same fighter that I fought that could hold my ground anymore because the stuffing had been knocked out of me with that kick in the groin. Then what happened was that when I lost the fight, and the Wushu fighter went on to win the tournament, and it's the first time I think that a Wushu fighter had ever won a BKK, a Kyokushin tournament. Yeah. So then when I went to the changing room, I went to get undressed, and I was like knackered, disheartened, whatever else. And I went to take my box out, and my box was all shattered into pieces.
Oh, mate!
But no one thought of actually, let's pull it out or whatever else, because they wouldn't, you know what I mean? So what happened was in the 82, there was something like 100 fighters in the middleweight, something like that. So it was 7 fights, and the last fight that I had was against a Wushu fighter, and so straight away you're thinking, I lost to a Wushu fighter last year. But luckily enough, I swept him twice and scored 2 Bazaris. And I won. That was the first national knockdown tournament I won. And I also won the Tamashawari woodbreaking and got a samurai sword at the same time. So yeah, so that was the sweetest moment.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have a question at you, actually. Being the first non-Japanese person to knock out the Japanese fighter, how did you feel at that moment when you knocked him out?
I had mixed emotions because what happened was I think that was the 3rd or 4th fight I had, and I actually injured myself in the first round. I injured my foot. The actual foot I knocked him out with was the foot that I injured in the first round, but I'd stretched the ankle. And so basically I couldn't do any kicks with that leg like Moshige's or anything, because if I touched anyone with the instep, I would have been on the floor. And then what happened was I'd knocked him out, but I knew what it meant. And whenever I've knocked anyone out, I've never celebrated. I've never been like, whatever, celebrated it like that. And I knew what it meant to him. What it meant to me was that I got somebody out of the way that was dangerous, and it was good in that way. But I knew at the same time what it meant to a Japanese to be knocked out in front of the Japanese crowd as well. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of both. I was happy for me, but I was also sad for him. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it must be an incredible feeling, to be fair.
How did you tend to prepare yourself? This is a question from me. How did you tend to prepare yourself for like big tournaments? How many weeks did you pull out for the preparation, and what?
Normally I would do a 6-week program, and the 6-week program involved stair running. It involved like training three times a week. 3 times a day. Because what I did is that when I was fighting and I sort of got to the top level, I realised that some of the fighters, they were professionals, either kickboxers or uchideshis and whatever else. And that if you wanted to live with them on the mat, then you had to be just committed, just as committed as they were. So what I did is I'd done an engineering apprenticeship, and I actually... They were looking to move out of London, and I said, I'll go. I'll leave the job. So I'd sort of finished my training and everything, and it was about 9 months later, and I left, and I decided, well, that's it. I'm going to train as much as I can full time, and then just do a little few part-time jobs just to keep some money going in to tick me over, and that's what I did. But yeah, going back to the question, it was a case of I would have a 6-week program that would involve stair running, distance running, weight training, bag work, and then they'd normally split to 3 times a day.
Wow. And
the stamina would normally be in the morning. That's the stamina, but I'd still do bag sort of stamina drills later on as well.
All right. And then there's one more question by me as well. Don't know if anyone else has got a question, but a lot of fighters from out of Kyokushin have been into, well, either professional fighting or went into kickboxing, especially like back in the 80s, start of the 90s. They started doing a lot of kickboxing, K1. What's the reason you have never took this step? Of being a fighter?
Well, one thing was when I decided to retire, I was 28 when I retired from fighting, and actually the last time I fought in the British was when I was 25, because for successive years there were tournaments abroad that meant I couldn't fight in the British. So I was fighting in Japan one year and in the Commonwealth in Australia another year, and then the last tournament was the European Championships, and that was before the British. So I didn't fight in that. But basically, when I decide to do something, if I decide I'm not going to do anything anymore, I'm not going to do it anymore. and I used to put a lot of pressure on myself to actually succeed. I didn't like to lose, and if I lost, I wasn't happy for a while. So second wasn't good enough, basically.
I can contest that as well.
And yeah, but going back to the question about fighting in other tournaments, they didn't exist when I'd retired in '89. Basically, the opportunities weren't there to actually go and fight elsewhere, and also it was frowned upon for any Kyokushin fighter at that time to go outside of the organisation. It wasn't the done thing, and it wasn't until like a year or two later, a couple of years after, the 91-ish, I think, somewhere around there, the likes of like sort of Andy Hug, Michael Thompson, that moved into K1. But I remember at the same time they also had to sacrifice being part of the IKO as well to actually do that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been treated fairly by the organisation they joined for K1. So.
Sensei Conchita, my mom, she has a question. Have you ever had any big injuries, and how did you work your way around that?
I was really lucky. You know what? I never had any big injuries at all until 4 weeks before the last tournament, which was the European Championships in Hungary. And what happened is that I was sparring. I think it was John Izod from Dunmo. When we were sparring, I'd done a Maigari and he tucked his elbow in, and I kicked his elbow and I broke a toe. And it was 4 weeks before. And I was really peeved off, because my philosophy was, if you're sparring before a tournament, you only do constructive blocking, not destructive blocking. Yeah. Constructive blocking is where you sort of do something to get something out of it rather than just block something. And destructive blocking is where you're looking to injure the person and also stop them from actually hitting you at the same time. So that was the only injury that I had actually had, was a broken toe. And that was 4 weeks before the last tournament I had. And luckily enough, I managed, it took sort of 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks for me to be able to train without trainers on. And I won the tournament. So I got through, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I was very lucky. But I was a very good defensive fighter, so that helps as well.
Yeah, I mean, your distance control was really good. So, probably helped in that matter as well.
Anyone else got questions? Have you got some questions, Darren? Maybe Jeff? Do you have a question?
No, but I'd like to just say, Nick, you're talking about Bethnal Green, your first club, I believe. Is that right?
No, Millwall was the first club.
Yeah, well, the instructor, was Bill Walsh your instructor? Or was
it was Bill Walsh and Glenn Sharp. So Bill was the main instructor.
Yeah.
And Glenn, so he would take one day and Glenn would take the other.
Yeah, because Bill Walsh was probably one of the hardest fights I ever fought. I was like, I wasn't an opponent, I was a punch bag.
Yeah.
Just be a punch bag for him for 3 minutes,
Yeah. No, he was a real, there was a lot of people that you speak about Bill, so he wasn't like sort of a fancy karate man, he was just like a sort of slug, you know what I mean, a tough man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in terms of karate, he was what a lot of us needed in the East End at the time. He was a disciplinarian. And you couldn't, if you were standing in Fudodachi and then you decided to wipe some sweat off your brow, he would drop you with a Maigari. You weren't allowed to move. You know what I mean? It was, and at that time, you couldn't do it today, but at that time, I needed someone like that to stop me from being a little bit probably wild. You know what I mean? I needed some discipline in my life, so that was good for me.
That's so funny to hear, because I know you, but me and Darren, we know you as a very relaxed and easygoing guy. And you saying that you needed discipline in your life, this is just
really, it's all a facade.
Yeah, well, there is an element of that. If you look at Roger Federer, he is the coolest person on the tennis court, isn't he? But if you go back to when he was a youngster, he used to have tantrums. He had a real anger problems, and he had tantrums. And in a way, I was a little bit like that, in that when I was fighting, I was always keeping a lid on my emotions, because it'd be easy, because my first instinct is going, like bang, 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 bang. But, fortunately, I managed to sort my head out in the end and actually learn to fight rather than to scrap.
Have you ever lost your tantrum during a fight?
Only, I'll tell you what, I can't remember who it was. It was a Dutch fighter, and he was a spitting image of Peter Smith. Peter Smith was fighting in the British, and there was another fighter that looked exactly like him, but he wasn't as good. What happened was we were fighting, and we both went to ground. And as we're getting up, like, he used his arm to hold me down on the floor. And then that was it. I was like, I was growling. And luckily enough, straight away, within a few seconds, I just dropped him with a hizagiri, a Chudan hizagiri, that, sort of had all the venom of the emotions that I had from you, like, holding me down, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but not very often that he's got better of me. You know what I mean?
I think you were talking about Ger Hogeveen. He was a friend of Peter Smith, but he was also he was kind of looking like him. So this might be him.
What was his name?
Gerry Hogeveen. Ger Hogeveen.
Right. Okay. I haven't got a clue. It's the thing is, at the time under the British, it was like a production line at the time. It was one fight, and then there was another fight, and there was another fight, and it was sort of, if you got to the final, you're talking about 5, 6, 7 fights at that time. So there was quite a few fighters. So it was, and then as the day went on, it normally accelerated. So, you'd have a long wait, and then all of a sudden it's one fight, then the other fight, then the other fight, and then normally, you wouldn't even know the names of the people that you were fighting. You know what I mean? So it's the way it was at the time. So, and the trouble is now, you say his name, and we anglicise everything. So as it's written down, we might, sort of, for it to be familiar to us, you'd have to say it in in an English way.
Right, yeah.
Because you got Kuhn Harrenberg.
Yeah, Scharenberg.
Yeah, right. So I always called him Cohen Scharenberg. So do you see? So you see it written down, and then you say it in an anglicised way, and then you never recognise when somebody legitimately says it from that country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very funny. Thanks. Good. There was actually one more question that popped into my mind, but I lost it again. So not sure. Is there anyone else that would like to get a question going for Sheehan Nick, or is this it? Don't see any other ones. Maybe
No.
some.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Just to see what we could go. Where's pitches in again?
I was just going to say, put the kettle on. Yeah, go on.
Now, what do you think is the biggest difference between back in the days when you were fighting, and if you look at the tournaments right now? Because obviously back in the day, you like 100 middleweight fighters, but now if you look at the British, there will be between 20 and 40 middleweight fighters. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think now the quality of the fighters, the quality's gone up, but the numbers have gone down.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, and that's what probably turns off some people from taking part in it, because they know that every other person that's taking part is either a national, European or world champion from one organisation or another. You know what I mean? So it's very daunting for anyone to actually come into that is, sort of a run-of-the-mill dojo member. Whereas in the past, the people would go in for it. And also in the past there, especially in the UK, there was a lot more, the organisation was bigger and a lot more people in the dojo, and they would see it as something that they could possibly do okay in and not get too injured. But Those days have changed. Regarding the format, I think the format of fighting now is a lot more sanitised and specialised.
Yeah.
So before there'd be a lot more grabbing, throwing, sweeping, etc. It's a bit more rough.
A little more raw.
Yeah, a bit more raw. And if you look back at the first World Tournament, even the second World Tournament, you see the fighters are not really fighting in a proper knockdown way. They're fighting as if they're from another system fighting knockdown, because they're like hitting each other, standing back, and then looking to see the effect of the punch they did. You know what I mean? Or like some of them are in Wuko stances, and they're doing single techniques and thinking, I can drop the person with one technique because that's what I've been told if it's good enough. You know what I mean? And then a lot of the punches they're doing are over the top punches like that, which are fine in full contact fighting with face punching and Wuko or scoring, individual point scoring and stuff like that. But they're no good for knockdown. So you see now, you don't see people like sort of throwing these big overhand rights that they would actually do in a different system of fighting. Maybe that is in a different way, more realistic, but less specialised as knockdowns down is now, because what it is that the fighters change their fighting to succeed in the system that they're fighting in, and they've become more and more skilled at doing that. And in a way that has taken it back a little bit away from the realism of fighting, because no one will stand there sort of toe to toe and trade blows, because you wouldn't do that, in a proper fight, would you? You know what I mean? But that's the system that you're working in, is toughness and endurance, and so it's a different beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice.
A little question from Shahan there. Would you train any differently if you were fighting now?
Yeah, I probably would. I would still make sure that the core of what I did, which was the fitness, because I always made sure that everyone is going to be really fit. And also the drills that you do are important as well, because it's surprising how many people don't actually do bag drills, and which is like basically the same routine time after time, so that the technique, without you thinking about it, becomes natural and becomes stronger. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I'd still do that, but what I would do is I would probably be open more to going and training with other people from Kyokushin around the world. Whereas before I was quite happy on my own, you know what I mean, doing my own, because I was succeeding, you know what I mean. But it's always good to go and mix and share ideas with other people, where I didn't really at that time. It was like the squads, and it was the dojo, and they were my opponents. And so I never really approached them as friends at the time, because I might have to fight them next time. And that's the way I was, is that, they're potential opponents. And so I'm always looking to think, can I beat them? And if you can't really be a friend, you know what I mean? If you look at a person thinking, right, if I'll fight you, how am I going to beat you? You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I would be more open to go and training with other people. So. Nice.
There's one more question by Gary Lewis. If they allowed international fighters to compete, would you enter a veterans knockdown tournament?
No. The thing is that the whole system of knockdown is geared.
If you entered,
It's basically geared towards. It's destructive. Knockdown is destructive, and it's geared towards younger people, and it's stamina based, strength based. And obviously the difference between one and the other can be those, and there's a lot of skill involved in it. But for my mind, it's for younger people. And I also done it when I was younger and I was at my peak, and I wouldn't be happy then going and trying to fight at a level that is below what I fought previously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you were at your peak and you'd done that, then why go back? And I've got nothing that I want to prove on the mat, basically.
Is that why you stopped so young? Because 28 isn't very old for a.
No, well, the reason I stopped so young is that I'd fought in the British I was in the final 5 years in a row. I was in the European Championships, 4 successive tournaments in a row in the final.
Yeah. Consistency.
You know what I mean? And it was a case of you going around in a circle and doing the same thing, and it's how many times can you do it before it doesn't become the challenge that it was, and then you end up dropping your level. Yeah. You know, and so I didn't want to drop my level, so I thought, well, I've done it all as many times as I want, so this is the last one, and that's it.
Because I guess back then as well, there was a limited number of tournaments, not like today where there's been bundles of them.
No, that's right. Yeah, so
you still go round in the circle. Don't get me wrong, but at least it's a bigger circle.
Yeah, and like you said, So what happened? There was less choice, but what happened was there was probably more people taking part in those tournaments, so you had more fights. You know what I mean?
There's one more question. I like this one as well.
Yeah, this is good.
What about a one-off fight with another fighter from your era? Would you do it, and who would you pick?
I'll refer back to my previous answer.
Yes, there. You want to give it a go?
That's it. I've done and dusted. I've done that, and I've moved on to teaching, and that's it.
Do you spar still? Do you still enjoy to fight? Like, if you know.
No, I haven't. Probably for a good, I don't know, but I very rarely spar now. So it's probably 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
That I haven't sparred. So yeah.
You must be really disciplined, because once you're in that kind of world of fighting and stuff, a lot of people find it really hard to let go, and you've really just that my time's done. I've moved on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Really disciplined.
Who was your role model back in the days?
Right. So I think probably the people that influenced me most were Howard Collins. When he was fighting, he tried to control the fight. And so I took an element of that into it. Glenn Sharp, the animal, was so destructive, a fighter, that sometimes the fights only lasted like 3 seconds, and he's knocked the person from one side of the area to the other with a barrage of techniques, and the person was out cold on the floor, and he'd done that a few times. And so I also wanted a destructive element to my fighting as well. And also, when I was watching the 79 World Tournament, I saw it on Cine. I didn't go, but it was 1979, and they showed it at Haringey Dojo, and I watched that, and I really liked Azuma. And because his low kicks were fantastic, and I was thinking, I really like those. They're really open and powerful. He didn't win the tournament. I think he came sort of 5th or 6th, somewhere around there. But yeah, and he was small, so he was fighting a lot bigger people. But I was really impressed with him, so I really liked his fighting. But there's probably loads and loads of people that you looked at and thought, I like the way they're doing this, and so you take an element of what someone does and develop it. You know what I mean? And for yourself, possibly.
Did you teach yourself a lot? Because I know Glenn was your instructor. There's a huge difference in the way that you deliver things to Glenn, and I'm not sure how Glenn was as an instructor, because I've never met him in that environment. You know what I mean? So he
was really good, and people thought Glenn wasn't a clever or creative instructor, because of the way he fought, because he was very full on. It was really aggressive and animalistic, but technically he was really good, and he would put a lot of time into trying to create combinations and techniques to try on people. You know? And so he was really good. And the reason if you look at a couple of the fights, my first fights, I think there's a few on YouTube, like fighting Neil Madeley from Crawley, and Jim Verona and Peter Fairman. The first tournaments that I fought in, you could see that the influence of Glenn in my fights then. But then what happened is that I then, as soon as we became competitors, proper competitors, I would still train under him like once a week or whatever, but then I would do the bulk of my training on my own with like friends and stuff like that, because we were competitors. You know what I mean? And yeah, so most of my training was me going away and actually coming up with programs of myself to develop myself, and adding that like to what we learned at squad trainings with like Jeff Barber, Shan Jeff. He was really creative, and Hanshi, and even Joe Coronino. He had some good ways of actually measuring fitness that he brought into the squads. He wasn't the most exciting person to train under, but he still had some good things that he did bring in.
Yeah, I remember someone else telling me that he had loads of fitness stuff, not necessarily a lot of technical elements, but like loads of like Kyoge sit-ups and things like that potentially.
Yeah, and he did like measurements. He was the first person that started to measure like the exercises and what you were doing, and then looking for improvement and stuff like that. Which was good. You know what I mean? So
amazing. Right then, I think we have to let you go because I could talk for hours with you.
Likewise.
You liar.
We don't take too much of your time. It's been amazing to share this with you. Oh, there's one more, and I think this is a good one. What is your favorite kata?
Oh, my favorite. I probably haven't got a favourite kata now, but when I was still going back 42 years, when I first started, the first katas, the taikyokus, were really robotic. You know what I mean? It was like boom, 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 boom. And so when it got to Pinan knee, it was like it was unbelievable. I loved it. And then the next one I really loved was Pinan Sonogor. I really liked that one as well. The flow of that one. So probably Pinan Sonogor in a way.
Good. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Well, as I said, there's so much. There's so much to talk about, and it was an amazing session. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed you spending the time to talk with us as well, and give you some of your insights, and obviously all the questions that we shoot off to you wasn't enough. So thank you so much. Amazing, and we hope to see you soon again in real life to do this.
Yeah, thanks very much to both of you. The both of you have done like really good. I mean, it shows a lot of knowledge to actually take somebody else's combinations and then like within a minute or two come up with the combinations that you did, which were really good. So well done, the two of you, and keep it going.
Awesome. Thank you. Greatly appreciated, Shane.
Thanks very much.
And
unmute everyone.
like I always said, thanks a lot for coming along. It's a pleasure. And everybody, you can probably see in the chat, so really enjoying the session, saying thanks a lot. So it's not just us, it's everybody else echoing those words. So awesome.
Right. Thanks very much, and I'll see you soon.
Awesome.
Yep. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for the session.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, everybody, you can unmute yourselves now and say goodbye. And
Right. See you, Jeff.
Us. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Us.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
catch you all later, guys. Another good session. You're gonna have to unmute yourselves because you're all muted, and we can't unmute you. So you have to unmute yourselves. It won't let you. Huh. Why won't it let you? How do you normally unmute it then, Wes?
Yeah, normally just, but all of them is ask to unmute. What I just now do is ask to unmute all of them. Unmute. Louise, you're unmuted.
That's done it. That's what I
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Unmute.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Liam. Thanks very much.
Right, the end of it.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, later. Nice one.
Thank you.
Yes, Cliff.
Thank you very much. Thanks. It was a pleasure.
Good stuff, Saints.
Thank you
All right.
very much.
Darren, thank you for
Yes.
everything.
Thanks, guys.
Guys,
Yeah, Ben.
see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
I didn't realise you have to go and click everyone on mute.
Well, I normally don't have to.
Yeah, normally it's different settings, but
Yeah.
I tried
Yeah,
to unmute myself. It just said I can't because the host muted us.
Yeah, and even at the top, it's got mute or mute audio. It's not got a unmute. It's strange. It's got good, right? I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Really
that's it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Afterwards.